You're listening to On the Verge on WTVU. BU's only music and talk show, bringing you the latest in campus life, entertainment news, and trending topics worldwide, with stories from Verge campus and new music from Good Music All Day. Everything you want to hear,
minus what you don't.
Every Sunday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Look, and I don't care about your Twitter or your followers.
Hello, everyone. We are back with On the Verge, the official music and talk show of Verge Campus BU. We are live on WTVU Radio, either via 89.3 FM /640 AM, or you could be listening to us online with WTVUradio.org/listen, as well as our mobile radio app. We've had an awesome show so far, I think. I think it's been fun because I got to talk about one of my favorite things ever. We just had Just College Things with the topic of hockey, which now I owe Kaylin like some sort of favor for making her endure that. But I think it was really fun. I hope people learned things besides just my obsession. And then we did headlines and hashtags earlier, went through a lot of cool news segments. And also gave you a little recap of our awesome event, which was last night for Verge Campus BU, called the Boston Breakthrough Showcase. Definitely make sure to check out our articles and our social media coverage of that if you missed it. It was great. But now, moving on to another local Boston Breakthrough artist. We like to think so. We have our featured artist of the episode. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, I'll introduce myself. My name is Matt Corman.
Ooh.
Oh.
Do that again. I'm so sorry.
Hey, no, I'm here, guys. My name is Matt Corman. How you guys doing? I'm from Boston. I'm a rapper, so I make rap music. Fun stuff.
Amazing. I love it. So, yeah, we just played, well, during our break, we played a couple of different songs. We started off with Lie With Me by Joe, Divine Again by Johnny Glenn, and then we had one more. Oh, Accolades. By Chris Borelli, and those were three of our Boston Breakthrough artists from last night. And then we played a song by Matt called Instafamous Girl. We gave you a little sneak peek of it because unfortunately we have to follow laws about explicit songs. But it's fantastic. You should check out the whole song as well as the rest of his music on Spotify. So how about you tell us a bit about that song?
Okay. Yeah, so that song was the first, other than before that song came out, I was only having 500 plays on all my songs.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of a loser. And then
No.
I'm still an absolute loser.
No.
Not much, but no, I don't know. I started out with a new engineer called Neek, and he called himself Neek Attack, and he lives out in West Virginia, and so he works for Sony and stuff, and so I sent him that track, and then he mixed it for me. We put it out. It was my first song ever getting promoting sounds, and linked up with those guys, and now they're homies. I kind of just realized I'm wearing their shirt. How awkward.
Reppin', always reppin'.
Yeah, always reppin'. And so yeah, and then that song got out there and saw 100,000 streams across cumulative, and yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Very cool. So you just found this engineer online, or?
He actually reached out to me. So he works with a couple artists called Justin Stone's an artist who's on Swaggy Tracks and stuff, and C-Tracks and Arizona Service, and they have I don't know, they're really popping, and they're not from Boston or whatever, and they actually found me because Justin wanted to come on one of my songs called Northside, and he hit me up and was like, yo, dude, I want to mix your music, and I was like, yeah, of course, because help me out. So yeah, that's about that. Now
Very cool.
That's buddies now, so that's good.
Awesome. So is it a big transition from the songs that you were making before, or how would you describe your sound for people who don't know your music?
So I'd say that I'd say that I'm finding my sound right now. I'm trying to, there's a fine line that I'm flirting with between what's marketable to people and what's like real, because like a lot of people like we firmly believe that you gain fans from showing them who you are and they buy into you. Like people come to a concert because of like to see Matt Corman, not because of my music. Like yeah, I may have good songs, you may like it, but like you come because of like for the personality. Like that's why I go to concerts and stuff. And so I want to make songs that are genuine to that and real. So like that song I actually made because I knew it was marketable. Like it's not necessarily my favorite song. It's actually kind of like my most hated song.
Really?
Yeah,
Sorry.
This is why I made it. So you know what I mean? It gets a marketable song and like people like it and it's got a catchy chorus, you know, it's about instafamous girls and like I get it. And so like that's why I made it. And like it's kind of just like a test. And then like the other songs that I'm making, like the new stuff I'm making, it's just more like real stuff. And I don't know, I have a song called Be the King that just talks about like my personal life or whatever, and then like a couple other stuff, and like I just want to make real stuff that people like.
Yeah.
It's gonna last. You know?
I like that you're open about that and you actually recognize that that's part of being an artist. I feel like a lot of artists, that's their intention, and they know that they're playing the game, but they don't open up to it, and then it makes them seem just like really fake.
Is it weird for you when the ones that you aren't as big a fan of yourself are the ones that everyone else is really into?
Yeah.
Because like Instafamous Girl is your most popular on Spotify at least.
Yeah, 100%. I mean that, yes, because like I don't know, like that it's what you get known for. So I have a filmer, his name's Blake Kimball, and like he's known around the Boston area. He like has been like helping me out like with visuals and stuff and just talking about how to better create our brand. And he said that like if you blew up off instafamous girl, like you might fall off in 2 years. And that's the real thing. I'm very real with it. Like I wasn't like I'm not that good. Like no, but for real. So like I started making music like freestyling like in the dorms like 2 years ago, whatever. And then like started putting out songs and not really getting that much traction. And then like as of recent, like the past year, like I started getting an actual fan base where we like could headline the Middle East. And, like we sold out the Middle East and like had real like fans now. And I'm like, oh my god.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm like, whoa, we're rappers now. Like, so play into it, right? It's like, okay, so how do you do it? And so you make these couple songs, and it's like the songs that you make that are most popular, like people know you for, like Designer's Panda, like, oh, and when I hear Designer, I think Panda, and then I think, like, what's he doing now, like performing in the club, you know what I mean? So it's tough to get known for stuff that you know is going to make you fall off. Like if I blew up off Instafamous Girl right now, you probably wouldn't know me in 2 years for rapping, straight up, because it's really marketable, whatever, unless I came out with something that was really like that and was genuine, but like people won't buy into me as much. They'll like just buy into that song, which is cool, but it's not what I want, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
I want to make friends, not fans.
Yeah,
You know?
I like that. So ideally, like once you're at that status that you want to be at and like have successfully marketed yourself, I guess, like what is the type of music that you ideally would want to be known for?
I guess stuff that I don't know, stuff that just makes people feel good. I always would say that, like, this sounds wicked morbid, but I would always tell people that I love that the idea of like at your funeral, how many people show up? Okay, great, cool. But like I want that every person that shows up to my funeral, that they're all like, wow, when I met that kid, he made me feel positive that day. And so when I create music, like I see myself as a musician.
Yeah.
The songs that I put out, I want you to feel good about them. You know what I mean? Like when you listen to it, you're like, oh, that puts me in a good mood. But then again, I want to make songs that are just like relatable for different types of vibes. You know, relationships. Like most of the songs I've written about, like love songs or whatever, have been about my friends' relationships. Like, I previously wrote a song, I didn't release it actually. Oh, no I did, but I remixed What Do You Mean by Justin Bieber, and one of my buddy's friends like cheated on him. Whoa, what did I just say? My buddy's ex-girlfriend cheated on him, and then so like I made a song about it, and I put it out there, and like it made him feel good, because now he has a song to relate to it, now I can put it on, you know what I mean? Like I want to make stuff like that.
Yeah.
You can like have, you know, that's what I want to listen to, so.
Yeah, very cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
So earlier, like before we went on air, we were talking about how you both get on air too, manager. Introduce yourself.
Poor kid.
How we doing?
Well, tell us your name.
I'm Patrick. I'm friends with Coleman. Basically been around since earlier in college. We're one of the people who discovered his talent, and as a friend, you kind of just push him to do the best that they can do.
Yeah.
Help out any way they can.
Awesome. So earlier we were talking to both of them about how they're both in college right now. What year are you guys?
Seniors.
Okay.
Yeah.
At
Let's not talk about it.
I just forgot, Southern New Hampshire?
Yeah.
Southern
Okay.
University.
So a lot of the artists that we've had on air have also been like in college or recently out of college. So we always like to talk to them about how their college experience has kind of reflected or maybe even made their musical careers and endeavors harder, even as like a manager?
Do you want to comment on that first, or?
Yeah. So you basically just like what makes it harder about being in school, making music?
Yeah, or even things that are beneficial
Yeah,
of being
sure.
in college.
So the coolest part about that is, it's a really good point. So I could right now, due to the fact that I go to college and like I'm like blessed enough to have friends who like support me, that I could have a show in like New Hampshire and have 100 people show up. Just get all the friends show up. You know what I mean? Like if you're not in college and like you like, because I'm not saying you won't be able to make friends when you're not in the school system, but it's easier to make friends when you're like, you know, in the environment, you know, in school, whatever. So like I will always have people that will support me, and that's cool. And then like my friends are always there for me to like help promote my stuff and like get out my music or whatever, and like help me. I always have people to listen to my stuff. Whereas I'm friends with some other artists who don't have that because they're not in school right now, and so they like just don't have it. Like if you make a song and like you don't have a school to go to, it'd be like, yo guys, it's my stuff. You're like 3 friends, like one friend might share it, and then like unless you build up your team, then that's all you got. So like I think it's like extremely helpful. That's actually kind of one of my concerns, that like I graduate and then I have plans upcoming for the summer and stuff, like music and stuff with shows and stuff, and I'm thinking, I'm like, wow, like my friends are gonna get jobs, and you know everyone's gonna move on in life, and like I'm gonna go and be a rapper, and so like there's that, like, you know what I mean? Like, I hope that this works. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool being in an environment where like it, you know, beyond music, you're trying to promote like the atmosphere, and when you have a show that you can bring all of our friends and everything like that, it just makes the show a hell of a lot better. It makes it look even more fun than it may have been without the whole bunch
100%,
of us.
yeah.
So yeah, and I mean, it also gives you kind of like the safe zone to kind of figure out how the music industry works. That's what college is about, you know. So I mean, I think it's been more positive than negative. I mean, the negative would just be that you don't have as much time to dedicate, because you know you do have classes and you got to do that every now and then.
You gotta visit that. Once a week.
You know.
Just the minimum that's required.
Yeah.
Wow, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, so did you just like start taking this more seriously in college, or were you pursuing music before you got to college?
I actually wasn't. Well, I mean, I always knew what I wanted to do. I always wanted to be an entertainer, but once I got to college, I was just like freestyling with these guys, and not him. He can't freestyle.
I can't freestyle.
Sometimes if he gets drunk enough. But like, but I started taking it a little bit more serious when like, I don't know, I put out songs and like weirdly some of them got traction. Like I have a song up there that's horrible. Look it up. It's called Matt Corman 6 God. A remix Drake 6 God. It's at 700,000 plays on SoundCloud. It's gonna be 1 million this year. It goes up like 100,000 like each month.
What?
Don't know. And it's absolutely terrible. It's the worst thing ever. And then so like we made that, and then it's like, wow, like people actually listen to me. Like this is cool. Like maybe I should keep it going. Then like I threw it up on TuneCore or whatever. What's it at? Do you know? Are you looking?
Yeah, it's at 673,000.
673,000?
He is not lying.
No, and it's on this webpage too. And like, I don't
Hot
know.
new music.
Yeah, and like so blogs were picking me up and stuff, and I was like, okay, cool. Like I guess we'll try to do something with this. I don't know.
It's
Yeah,
hilarious.
so it's funny how it works, and so I decided to learn the business of it and then turn it into my job, and so that's where we're at now, trying to make it happen. So
Very cool.
Yeah.
I like it. I respect it.
thank you.
Kaylin,
just
I'm like
had-
I'm hogging this
You just
up.
had a new EP come out too, yeah?
I did, yeah.
How is that?
Oh, nice research.
Is it very... Thank you so much. I tried to prepare.
Yeah.
Did you really, like, is that a different sound for you, or is it just a more cohesive collection?
So what that was basically is that so the Before It All EP was more or less, it was all songs that were previously released, and so when I'm working with Neek, and so it's a new sound, because it's engineered differently, everything's more professional quality, it's more like studio ready, and so I needed a product up on iTunes that when I promote myself, people are going to like meetings with any type of industry people, and they're like, oh, like what's your product? That's what they always ask, like what do you have on iTunes? Like I needed something packaged for them, and so that's why I put that out for sale. Like I didn't promote it too much. Like when I put it on Instagram, I said like, oh, like I'll shout you out if you buy it or whatever, but like I don't really care. Like I'm not gonna make $1 million off it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't care about that. So like I just needed something up there, like a product up there that people could actually go and see and like purchase. And so it is a new sound though, because before I was putting out original music, I was putting out like remixes. Like anything I want to is off of like a Chainsmokers remix, and like I like remixed Chainsmokers I think for like 5 months. Like anything they put on, like, oh sick, I have a new song now. But like yeah, so everything's like I'm only making original music now, so it's definitely all new sound. Yeah.
Are you working on new stuff?
Yeah. I'm like actually like for the first time forever, I'm like so excited to like show it.
Oh, that's
Because
awesome.
like I obviously get excited like to put out a new song, but like we were just playing one of my new songs in the car, and like we were both like, wow, like this is actually like good. And like I'm like very honest with my music. I always say like, oh, like does this stick?
And if it's garbage, we're gonna tell him.
Yeah.
Good. That's a true friend.
That's a true friend. And
You can't let him put
tell
out
me.
garbage.
Because like, if
No.
you want to take something and make it really professional, you need to take it as a professional. You need to be able to take criticism. And so when I started working with Blake, we were listening to like Black Bear, and then we listened to G-Eazy. I know this is like far stretched or whatever, you know. And I was like, all right, I put on their song, I put on my song. Which one would I rather listen to? Their song. Like, which one would I rather listen to? Like, you know what? I need to get better at writing. So I spend more time writing my songs, like change instead of like making a whole song and recording it. I'd like make the whole song, record it, and then go back and fix the words, like stuff like that I wasn't doing before. Because I need to get better. You know, if you want to be something real, then you need to be good. And like, I'm okay. So like, there's always room to improve. And if you're always improving, then yeah, you know, I don't even know where I was going with that. What was the question?
If you have new stuff coming out.
Yeah, I do. It's a lot better than the old stuff. Yeah.
Good. Do you ever feel like it's hard not to get trapped in the I want to be the next G-Eazy or I want to be the next? What did you say that people are calling
you're the
him?
white Drake.
Oh yeah. You saw that? Yeah,
I did.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
That one,
I
Wait,
did my
where is this
research.
coming from? I'm sorry,
it was on
I
his
did not
Facebook
do
page.
research. Okay.
Yeah, there's a video on Facebook. So I posted a video of me rapping, and some guy posted it, and like one big account was like, I don't know, a lot of likes or whatever.
Yeah.
And I have no idea what it's at yet, but it's like my most viewed video, and he was like, yo, it says like the white Drake. You know those like Facebook videos, like viral Facebook videos, and like, shows like that stuff?
Yeah.
It's one of those. And like I don't know how it happened. And I was like, okay, like, oh, that's sick. It's like mad people are seeing
It
it.
works.
But you get so many comments in there, and they're like, oh, like, yo, like, you're the Drake wannabe, like all this stuff. But like I like try to comment on every one of them, and like, cause like I don't think that like you know, there's some artists that just don't like comment, like don't comment on them. Like,
Yeah.
Like, yo, like, yo, you're awful. It's like, oh, like I always try to say like, thanks for the criticism, but like maybe you like my other music.
Oh, that's a good way of doing it. I like that.
I try to not. Try
Yeah.
to be as nice as possible.
So does that get frustrating or is it helpful?
Right, like falling into
The next so and so.
You know what? It's for everybody else, for the consumers, it's cool because people like will listen to my stuff and everybody loves saying you sound like this, you sound like that.
Yeah,
and, like,
because people know what they like
Right.
and they like sticking to that.
Yeah, and if you throw your like rapper friend on, they're like, oh, it sounds like G-Eazy. You know, everybody gets that stuff and like, oh, he sounds like Drake. Well, that's because he like used the same beat as Drake. Like, I get it. I mean, it's fine, but like, ultimately, you want to be your own person, and like. When you want to throw on like a song, like if you're in a mood, like you want to throw on like the Chainsmokers, like you know what type of mood you're in, you know what I mean? You're with your girl, I don't know, you're doing whatever you're doing. Like, you know, Bob Marley, you're in a type of mood, right?
Yeah.
Like, when you throw on Matt Corman, as like not me myself, I mean the brand of Matt Corman, you need to have a type of mood that you want to be in. And so it's hard to fall, like when you fall into that trap, like it's easy to, because you know it's popular and you know people like it, like Instafamous Girl, it's easy to make that song because I know people will like it. I talk about girls on Instagram, and like they gotta love it, right? And they like it, right? I know that, but when you make the real stuff, that's what like music really is.
Yeah.
So,
And I guess the goal would be one day that someone would be like, oh, that sounds like Coleman. So
Yeah.
exactly.
Oh.
That's literally it. That's the goal. It's like when you look up on YouTube, like a lot of rappers, they look up like type beats, like G-Eazy type beat to find a beat to rap on or whatever. Like my goal is to have like a Matt Corman type beat, and like once that's up, that's how you know you found your sound.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, okay, I'm something. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
And you'll be putting out a playlist, not an album in the future.
Yes, exactly.
We were talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
Got to make sure people know it's a playlist, not an album.
Yeah, no. I didn't drop an album. Don't get it twisted. It's a playlist.
Well,
Okay. Did you have something?
I was going to say, sadly, I think we have to wrap it up. We're
I
running
know.
out of time.
I was going to have him tell us a weird story, but
Weird story.
unless you can do that really quickly. I like having people tell us, especially if they're college students.
Yeah, it does have to be like about anything.
About college or like a show that you did, but it has to be really fast. Our new challenge, a story in a minute.
Really fast weird story would be
Curry College, go.
Curry College?
Yeah.
Oh, Curry College. One time there was this guy. I'm sorry, talk really fast. So there was this guy who was he booking us for a show?
He's booked us for a show or something.
Open for Machine Gun Kelly. Oh my gosh. So last year I was supposed to open for Machine Gun Kelly, and this guy hits me up. He's like, yeah, like come open for him and like all this stuff. I'm like, yeah, that sounds great. I'm like, so like what's going on? He's like, oh yeah, we're gonna pay you all this stuff. Like, bro, that sounds amazing. Yeah. meet me at, what is it, the
It
Middle
was
East.
Middle East, and then all of a sudden he wasn't at the Middle East.
Yeah.
He said he was at the radio station. The radio station happened to be Curry College. Long story short, we ended up at Curry College talking to some guy who was standing on a hoverboard, and the guy was really sketchy, and it took us hours. It was horrible.
And Machine Gun Kelly was not there.
No, he was absolutely not there at all.
He wasn't there either. We literally got there and like we were talking to the guy, and he was just like, yeah, like it was nothing. It was the weirdest time of my
Wow.
life.
That was weird.
That is a weird story.
Yeah,
Good one.
Glad you brought that up.
All right, last but not least, our tradition on the show is to have all of our featured artists fill in the blank. So hashtag on the verge of blank. I know it's a
Growing.
tricky one.
Growing.
Growing. Good one.
That's good.
Would you like to give one, Pat?
Sure, I was just gonna say fame.
Beautiful.
the goal.
Dude, the friends always love the fame. Yeah, this is sick.